Alright, I'm going to test the camera and video capabilities of the Toshiba Thrive. This is the 5 megapixel camera on the back of the Thrive, and as you can see, the aspect ratio is a 16 by 10. The quality is pretty good. I'm really pretty happy with it, and it works for most intents and purposes. Although if you need really high quality video, a good camera or DSLR or something like that is going to be a little bit better. So anyway, here's a little bit of motion so you can see how well it tracks when you're moving it around. And I'm also going to take it up to the sky here so you can see how it transitions into a lighter area. And you get nice, good, crisp blues there, and that's always something that's good. It's got good saturation, I think. So anyway, back into a darker area here. A little bit of a transition phase there. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and put me in front of it so you can see how it looks for a human being. But anyway, that is the Toshiba Thrive 5 megapixel camera on the back of the Thrive. Alright, so now we're going to test the 2 megapixel camera on the front of the Toshiba Thrive, and this is a little bit lower quality, but this is what you're going to be using in video chatting type of situations and that kind of thing. You'll notice that it does really pretty well when you're close up, but it does not do as well on things further away and higher contrast situations. So the aspect ratio is a little bit different on this. I haven't actually tested it to find out what the exact aspect ratio is, but it's not 16 by 10 like the 5 megapixel camera is. So I'm going to go ahead and get out of the camera here, and I'm going to show you, what that looks like in the same area. And also going to give you some quicker motion here so you can see that. And I'm also going to do the same test and go up to the sky here so you can see what that looks like. Nice blue sky, a little bit more contrasty and not quite as vivid as the 5 megapixel camera. So there you have it. Alright, next we're going to do an indoor test here. That's always something that's important because a lot of times indoors you're dealing with a little bit lower light situation, and it's a little bit harder for a camera to track. Now, I've turned on a light literally right next to this, so it's lighting up my face okay, but I'm going to go ahead and reduce this light here, and you'll be able to see, if I can get my light to work here, the low light capabilities. And as you can see, there's a lot more noise. This is the 2 megapixel camera, and it's not quite as good there, but again, you're seeing that contrast, and it's going to do in most situations, but definitely having a decent light is going to be a better situation for you. So I also noticed that there's some syncing issues between the audio and the video, but it's probably minor and something that you typically would see in a lot of video chat type situations anyway. So there you have it. That's 2 megapixel camera indoors. Alright, and next we're going to test the 5 megapixel camera indoors, and again, I expect a little bit of less contrast and a little bit higher quality. So this is 5 megapixel camera indoors. This is a little more difficult mainly because I can't see what I'm actually doing, but there's a lower light situation so you can see what that looks like. And as usual with any kind of camera, it's going to be better to have a little bit of light there for you. So anyway, that is the indoor capabilities of both the 5 and 2 megapixel cameras. Alright, we're going to do a quick little wrap up here on the video capabilities of the Toshiba Thrive. So, I have some data for you on the video formats. The front 2 megapixel camera captures in a 4:3 aspect ratio, 640 by 480p. So it's a relatively older format, but it does okay for video chatting and that type of thing. The rear camera is going to capture at 16 by 10 aspect ratio, and that is at a full 1280 by 720p, so you're getting getting HD video off of the rear 5 megapixel camera. So that's pretty good, and as you can see, the 5 megapixel camera was a lot better at picking up just a lot of contrast things and things like that. It's just a better camera all the way around. So some quick notes about the audio. The microphone on the front is a single microphone, so everything is monaural. The capture rate is AAC, 16,000 hertz with a 256 kilobit sampling rate. So that's what you're looking at for audio. I did note that the audio pickup when you're looking at the Toshiba Thrive using the front megapixel camera is really very good. However, when you're using the rear 5 megapixel camera, it's not as good at picking up the audio, mainly because all audio has to transfer through the Toshiba Thrive to get to the microphone, and so it gets a little bit muffled and it doesn't sound as good. Another thing to note is that I noticed some synchronization issues with the front camera. However, it wasn't as prevalent with the rear camera, and I'm not sure if this is an issue with the file system or something else, because I noticed that some of my front video camera captures were in sync, but you're probably noticing it right now that what I'm saying is not matching up with the actual video. So that's something that is a little bit concerning, but you know, I'll do some further investigation into it and try to figure out exactly what's going on there. So other than that, that's your basic video wrap-up of the Toshiba Thrive. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to comment.